welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I just woke up like a few seconds ago, so I've literally still got like my pillow lines on my face and my voice is still kind of groggy, but I just wanted to quickly take a second to do a sit down proper intro to this video before I have to head out. I'm heading out quite early this morning. It's already 6:15. It's on a Saturday, so for me, I guess that is a sleep in, but I just wanted to spend this weekend on kind of doing like a mid-year reset. It is the first weekend in July and I kind of just want to sit down and have a chat with myself and discuss what it is I want the second half of this year to look like. Maybe rearrange my goals a little bit, and it's very like cheesy to put this pin title to it, but I truly just want to focus on being 1% better every day. That is so cheesy, I know, but I have truly just experienced that if you take smaller steps in, just trying to improve yourself gradually, it makes the bigger goal feel not so big and not so scary. And I feel like that's kind of obvious, but I do just want to get clear on myself what those actions are to get that 1% better every day. I wanted to take you guys along with me on that because maybe you find some value in it. Maybe you want to do the same, just kind of get an idea how I'm going to be approaching that. So the reason why I'm heading out early this morning is because I've actually taken on some extra workload with regards to teaching here in China. I actually am meeting up with one of my kids. I'm heading out on that pretty early. I was very strict with myself when it came to these extra classes that I wouldn't do them on the weekend because I still wanted to be able to do what I love, and since I only have Saturday and Sunday to do that, I was very strict with myself. But this is like a special case scenario because he is going on holiday because it's summer school here now, or it's summer, so the majority of the kids are actually on school break, but my school has summer school, so I'm still working. So I'm taking on extra workload after I clock out from work, and then I meet up with other kids and I help them with their English. So reason for that is actually it ties in with one of my goals that I have for the remaining of the year, is that I do just want to get more strict, get more focused, get more specific on my finances. I have a financial goal. I always have a financial goal, and that's just something that ties in well with my financial goal. And with that, my financial goal kind of ties into all of my other goals as well. I would, for example, utilize meal prepping as a way to not only save money, but stick to my health goals, to stick to not eating out, stuff like that. So I'm going to take you guys along with me on the weekend. I'm going to start off by utilizing the time that I have. Like I said, it's 6, almost 20 now. I want to head out at 7:30. And then I'll be walking down to the coffee shop, and yeah, it's really, really warm, so I asked if we could meet up as early as possible because it's getting so hot. But for now, I'm going to utilize this time to just give my space a little bit of a spring cleaning. Yesterday was Friday, so I had my big deep Friday reset, but I do still have just like small things like some laundry that I want to hang up and stuff like that. And then if I do have any time, I'm probably just gonna have a bit of a read before I head out. So let's go.
Something I definitely recommend you doing is taking little spring cleaning breaks, because that way you prevent everything from piling up and becoming a lot, and then at the end of the day potentially procrastinating it. That's at least what I do. So I'm definitely focusing a lot of my energy on cleaning everything wherever, whenever, and putting everything back in its place after I've used it, so that my space is just clean and I feel more productive in that sense.
Okay, my classes are done. There was a mom who also approached me asking if I could potentially meet up with her son for some English. So who knows, maybe my weekends also become a fully booked working schedule. Definitely not the plan for me to be able to fill my cup and do other things that I'm wanting to do, but yeah, I'll have a look. I still need to chat with her. So I'm just walking to the gym now before heading home for lunch, and then I have some time before I need to head back to Pilates.
arrived home. I've taken a seat on the floor. I don't know why. Sometimes I just have the craving to rather sit on the floor and get something done instead of a desk or a table or whatever. I don't know why. I am such a gross, sweaty mess, as you can see. But I have to leave again pretty soon to go to Pilates. But I don't want to shower and refresh and do everything when I know I'm just gonna literally open my front door and I'm gonna be a sweaty mess again. So I'm just gonna like fight and power through and get the Pilates session done, come home, shower. Then it's gonna be such a good shower. I've got some time now, but I thought I would use this time to actually do what is been a goal of mine to do now for the last few weeks, and that is just to have a sit down chat with myself and decide what it is I want to put my energy and my focus on for the second half of this year. So I wanted to show you guys what I did in the beginning of the year. I don't want to show you what it is I wrote down, but I had like 4 sticky notes for my 4 quarters of the year, and then I broke down my bigger goals. So what I first did in the beginning of the year is I wrote down my 2025 goals, and that is relating to my financial goals, my health goals, what I kind of wanted to do with my social media, and potentially travel opportunities or destinations that I wanted to go to. And then I broke it up into my 4 quarters. I gave like each quarter a different color sticky note, and that was kind of just to help me to reverse engineer my bigger goals so that it doesn't feel so scary and overwhelming. So I essentially decided what I wanted for, let's say, my financial goal, what that looks like, and then I broke it down into my quarter. So what do I need to put away for the next 3 months to make that a reality? And then you can obviously reverse engineer it and make it even smaller. So be like, okay, every month that means I need to do this, that means every week I can only spend this, that means every day I can only spend this, or whatever the case may be. Like, you can reverse engineer it to the amount you want to, but that just really helps me to make big goals not feel so overwhelming. So I kind of wanted to just do a sit down and revamp, because obviously a lot has changed in my life in the past 6 months. Being here in China, for me it's quite interesting, because for me I would be like, okay, the 1st of January is the new year, but now it's summer school here, like I said. So now it's kind of like summer break and the new school year starts. And to me that's not normal, because in South Africa we work like the new school year starts when the new year starts. So it's just something for me to also wrap my head around, but it is such a perfect time to just also do a sit down, because it's the middle of the year. I, for example, had in the beginning of the year written down, I want to run at least 6 half marathons. So for example, that can look like running one every 2nd month, and then by the end of the year I had that complete. But I started really getting into running, and then I started doing half marathons on a weekly basis, and it wasn't on my goal to do that this year yet, because I never thought I would get to the point where I would run a marathon. But I kind of accidentally ran a marathon back in May, and that's kind of also when I started doing the longer distances, where I realized that I need to focus on my left leg, strengthening my left leg, because I started feeling pain in my left knee. So I haven't been running for the past month, I guess I'd say, because I'm so focused on just trying to strengthen the muscles in order to not put so much pressure on my knees. So the physio actually did book me off from running. So that kind of ties into my other goals as well, of just focusing on different types of movement, because I just so easily stick in my comfort zone when it comes to my exercise, which is essentially strength training. And I do really want to, over the next 6 months, focus on trying different things. So one of them was to do Pilates, but the injury, I've kind of been just using my Pilates sessions as like a rehab for my knee so that I could get back into running. So essentially just focusing on the specific muscles that'll help me take off tension off my knees. So strengthening my glutes, strengthening my, I don't know what this is called. I think it's called your groin. I don't know if that is the right word, but anyway, it's very weak on my left side. So essentially my quad has been overcompensating for my weaker muscles and my weak ankle mobility and stuff like that, and that's also just been causing a lot of stress on my knee. So I need to roll out, stretch more, increase my mobility, flexibility, stuff like that. So for me, it's definitely going to be an adjustment to focus on not just strength training, but also like recovery and flexibility and mobility and stuff like that. But Pilates is something I've always wanted to do more of, as well as either cycling or swimming. Swimming being the ultimate, because it's like an absolute joke how much my family and I do not swim. Like, it's literally a joke. But I actually went to go to the pool. I invested in a bathing suit. I got myself some goggles, I got the cap, I did the whole thing, and yeah, I went to the pool and I ended up swimming, I think it was 1.5 kilometers, but literally lap rest, because I've never been in a pool before. So I just gave myself grace and just gave myself whatever I needed to not drown myself. So we did that, and I do want to get better at that. I do want to do that more. So I want to at least, because of the fact that I've taken on more workload teaching wise, I do want to at least get to Pilates once a week, at least get to the pool once a week. And then my strength training, I will stay consistent with 5 times a week. I do maybe want to switch one of them out for still strength training, but more like of a conditioning, so that I could get my heart rate up, just mix it up a little bit, you know, still focus on strengthening, but different types of strengthening. So I'm going to sit and reorganize my brain a little bit when it comes to this, and this is maybe also something you can do if you want to kind of just make it easier for yourself and focus more on small actionable things that you can do every day that's going to help you to get there. But reverse engineering that can just help you make it feel more manageable and more like not as overwhelming. So for me, I really want to sit down and do some maths regarding my financial goals, my health goals, as well as my social media goals, because I really do love social media, creating content, being on the different platforms. I just feel like it's such a fun and creative outlet that also has just connected me to so many people around the world, and just also makes being in China feel less lonely. I don't know if that really makes sense or if anyone else can relate to that, but I've been in China for almost a year now. I've come over completely by myself. This is the first time I actually have an apartment. I live on my own. I'm obviously doing adult things now, and it was definitely just a big life adjustment, not only to being in a completely different culture and country, but also just having to think like, okay, I'm now earning a salary, it needs to go to this, and it needs to go to this, and I need to be financially responsible, and blah, 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 blah. But also my relationship status has changed since I've moved to China. Yeah, social media has just also connected me to so many people. So I just feel less lonely within that as well, because there are not only, I've also learned that there are so many South Africans in China who have found me through my content. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful if you're a South African and you're here and you're watching my journey. I appreciate you. Even if you're not South African and you're here watching my journey, I appreciate you being here. But yeah, so I've really just enjoyed social media as well. And honestly, I also just want to kind of have like a little digital diary for me to one day look back on, because never in a million years would I have thought I'd be in China, like travel to Bali, travel to Thailand. I already have so many exciting upcoming plans for traveling in my future, potential moves. I don't know, it's just crazy. I never thought that I would ever leave my hometown, honestly, even leave my house. Like, I am a very much introverted person. Like, I charge my battery on my own. So when I'm alone at home or when I'm just like in my space, I recharge. So I just never thought that I would be out of my bedroom, let alone my country. Anyway, this is such a long tangent and I'm just yapping on. I am going to sit and I'm going to write out my goals, what that's gonna look like for me on a quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily basis. And of course, going to have to go onto Pinterest to help me get the vibes, get the energy flowing, get the inspo on what that is gonna look like. So I definitely encourage you to do that as well, because like I say, it's just gonna make big goals feel very manageable. Okay, I actually couldn't. I had to go and shower, so I just quickly hopped in the shower and put on some clean clothes. It wasn't a vibe. It wasn't a vibe. So I'm quickly heading to Pilates. I'm about to die. I'm about to sweat my butt off. Look at my curlies popping out. Oh my goodness. But anyway, let's go. Showered. I am looking like a little bit of a mess. I am feeling like a completely new human being, and there's still so much time of the day left. I feel like I've had such a busy but productive day, and it doesn't feel like draining because I chose to do everything today, if that makes sense. Like usually if it's a set to-do list and I need to do it because it's a deadline, I always feel like that just instantly makes it a chore and then it's draining. But today I was like, I get to go to the gym, I get to go to Pilates. Like it was just a fulfilling day. Always try to do skincare and always try to, you know, show myself some self-care. But during the week when I feel like it's really busy, I tend to slack on that a little bit more than I would like to. Like obviously I do the bare minimums, but I mean, I could be doing more. I could definitely be doing more. I would basically during the week always just Lumi, my dream combo, obviously brushing your teeth, showering and whatnot, but I just feel like I should be doing more. I always use some extra time in the weekend to like put some oils in my hair, let that sit a little bit, body up, like oil up my body. I'm running out of my body oil, and just, you know, maybe doing a little bit of a mask, a hair mask, stuff like that, where I can just basically look like a zombie because I'm staying inside. So I usually do that on Sundays because then I know my workouts for the week is done, and I always wash my hair on Sundays so that I'm fresh for the week. But yeah, so that is another thing I definitely want to prioritize a little bit more, is stepping into more of a self-care era when it comes to, you know, like my body in a different sense than working out, physio appointments, strengthening, flexibility, mobility, you know what I mean? Like more self-care in the sense of girly self-care. I don't really know how to phrase that, but essentially just to show myself some extra TLC and girly things. Like I really need to, or not need to, but would like to, really want to be more girly, and I have a lot of my friends who actually help me. I like ask them to show me how to be more girly. This sounds so stupid. I just always have been a tomboy. I have two like brothers. I don't naturally reach for a dress or, you know, whatever when I need to pick out an outfit. I don't even own a dress right now, so that's actually on my to-do list for this weekend too. I want to have a look and scroll around for some summer dresses to maybe shop for, because I'm always saying I really want to not only build myself like a capsule wardrobe, but also step into a little bit more of a girly wardrobe. So I'm gonna have a look around on that. So that is also one of my, not goals, but like things that I would like to focus a little bit more on. So hopefully with the intentional steps I'm taking to do that, I will actually merge into a bit of a more girly version of me, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, I was saying this on my stories the other day, but I think because I'm sweating so much, it's so warm, I've never sweat this much as I have been here in China. It's a different kind of warm, I think. My body's not used to this. But it's not like yes, I'm obviously getting warm, but it's just like, even when I was in South Africa and I was getting really warm, it's not like I was sweating a lot, but now I'm sweating. So I feel like my skin is more dry than what it usually is, and that's probably because I need to be keeping up with drinking more water and making sure that it's like it has some salt and lemon in, just to like replenish my electrolytes and stuff like that. So I've been focusing a lot, I don't know if you can see this right now, so I've been putting my Dream Combo on more recently because I feel like my skin's a little bit more dry. So I definitely need to up my electrolyte intake and focus on staying hydrated more now that it's summer and I'm sweating so much. En haar dogter sit in Hong Kong. Dit is my so interessant dat hulle die familie so opsplit. Guys, it is Sunday morning, so I'm taking it as a slow Sunday morning. It's already so warm, so I've made myself an iced coffee and I am just about to meal prep some food for the week. I always like to do that first thing in the morning when it's so warm because the kitchen tends to get really warm. So I am just going to quickly meal prep for the week. It's just basically cooking up a few different vegetables so that I can warm up different veggies throughout the week and mix and match my meals. So yeah, that's essentially what I'll be doing. I'll also do a few protein oats, overnight oats, and yeah, I'm thinking that's about that. For lunch, maybe I'll just do like a tuna salad that I can, you know, separate and maybe put into like different meals. So gonna be doing that. And then I really wanted to go to the swimming pool today for a little bit of a swim, but my body is feeling like I need a rest day. And now that I think about it, if I'm counting Pilates as an intense workout, which in my head I don't, because in my head it's like that's just my knee rehab. So I guess yesterday would have counted as an active rest day then, but I haven't taken like a day where I just like got my steps and that's that. So I'll see how I feel a bit later in the day when I'm a little bit more awake. But yeah, the pool's not open now anyway. It only opens up at 10. So I would need to head out later anyway. So let's quickly go and meal prep. Then that is done for the day. And then I've got some editing to do for the week ahead. I've got some reels to make. And I also want to edit this vlog. So this vlog can be up pretty soon. And yeah, so that's what today's gonna be looking like.
So like I say, every Sunday I just prep some veggies, and that allows me to mix and match a few different meals during the week. And this also saves me so much time, as well as my hatred for doing the dishes really comes into play here, because now on Sundays I just have like one big clean of dishes, and then during the week I just kind of have to heat up the meals, which is great, very convenient, saves me time. And then during the week I don't, you know, drift from my health goals and my nutrition goals. I can just quickly whip up some healthy meals, and that also just helps me so much financially as well.
I don't know where the day has gone. It's 3:30 right now and I can't even describe what I've been doing because I felt like I just started editing on this vlog and now it's 3:30. I still wanted to go to the pool. After I meal prepped, I literally just got on my walking pad, started editing, and now like I feel like the whole day is gone. But I don't think I'm going to get to the pool because I still have to edit all my reels for this week, and that also really takes long. So I think what I'm just gonna do now is put in my oil. Like I always like to oil my hair on Sundays, and usually I do that after I get back from the pool, and then I just let it sit for a little bit before I go and shower. I don't do it before I go to the pool because I've got the cap on and I don't want the cap to be like oily. So I am just like beyond blown away by how fast this day is gone. I am taking so long to edit. I don't know why, but it's taking me really long. So I need to get my butt in action because I still have reels to make. Earlier I did take a quick break because I started doing some research on ChatGPT on how to make my own mayo. Like I got a little distracted there because I realized how much I consume mayo and how unhealthy that is, because most mayonnaise brands have, what do you call it, like sugars, artificial things in it, seed oils, stuff like that. So I just asked ChatGPT if he knows any brands, but then it recommended I make my own. So I actually ended up ordering, I think it was just like a few things that I needed, but I needed some silken tofu because it recommended I make a mayo from silken tofu, and it wasn't bad, but I'd rated like a 6 out of 10. So I'm definitely gonna do some more research and try to find better recipes, because I wouldn't mind making my own. Like that would be part of like my Sunday meal preps. But that recipe wasn't a good one. I didn't really like it that much, but I did record that, so I need to edit that for a reel for Instagram. So I just have been editing all day, and I'm a little bit disappointed with myself because I was really hoping to get to the pool, and I don't want going to the swimming pool to be a habit that I just keep saying, oh, I'll do it, and then I never do, especially because I obviously invested in getting myself like the bathing suit and the goggles and whatnot. So I just want to stay disciplined with that. But I did also today chat with the mom who approached me yesterday in the coffee shop asking for classes with her kid, and she can only do weekends. So the best is gonna be for me to see her kids early in the morning, over the weekends, which is fine because like I say, I am an early bird in any case. So for me to knock that out over the weekend is not going to be the end of the world for me because I still have the full day. Like yesterday, I felt like so productive having, you know, waking up early all by myself, like naturally, and then still having the whole day. So I don't mind that, and especially because I think it's just going to be for like the next month. Due to the fact that it's summer right now and the kids have summer school, summer break. So I don't think it's going to be like a long-term thing. So I kind of want to knock out as many like sessions as I can with the kids, because that obviously means some extra cash dollars. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to just oil up my hair. I'm using castor oil, and this is like just castor oil, and this is rosemary mint scalp and hair strengthening oil. So those two I always combine because castor oil is really thick, and I just rub that into my scalp, and I have like a little massage brush that I also just give myself little head massages for, which is just good for circulation to the scalp. I've really been trying to up my game when it comes to my hair. I had what's the treatment called? A keratin treatment done last year in October. So it's not a year yet, but it's almost a year, and I feel like the hairs are still pretty good. I do definitely want to focus on getting some volume back though. Like I feel maybe I could have I should have my blood tested or something, because maybe I have like a what do you call it, a deficit in like a vitamin or something like that, because I do feel like my hair is a little bit thinner than what it usually is, and not only because of the treatment, I just feel like it's maybe falling out a little bit more than what it usually does, and it just doesn't feel like my hair. So yeah, that goes into or ties into the goal of me just wanting to find a little bit more like self-care habits and tricks, and incorporate more girly things into my routine, find some new hairstyles and stuff like that as well. So yeah, those kind of go hand in hand, but I am just quickly gonna do this, and then I'm just gonna hop back onto my walking pad because I need to get all my editing done, and then that's probably going to be a wrap on this day. It's not going to be very exciting, unfortunately. I was hoping to take you guys to the pool with me, but I don't think we're going to have time for that. So sorry about that. Okay, my hair is all oiled up and I'm ready for an everything shower, but I'm gonna sign off here because like I said, the rest of the day is gonna be pretty boring. So thank you so much for joining me on this weekend where I kind of just had to sit down with myself and reviewed everything from this past 6 months and what I want the next 6 months to look like goal wise. So I hope you guys could gain some value from that, and also just maybe take some inspiration on how you want to set goals for yourself the next 6 months. So yeah, again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.